So basically, guys, um, I guess it's 3 days ago now, right? I was working on trying to improve Ponafina. Now, Ponafina is this character over here that you may or may not know, probably don't know, but like it's like a pony water horse kind of thing, and it's like it's one of like many creatures that I'm trying to create for stories and fun and hopefully things that people will like in the future. But Ponafina is more or less. Let's see, where is Ponafina? Ponafina. Actually, these are all Ponafinas. Wow. So obviously I drew Ponafina quite a lot, right? Ponafina is not a new character, or at least it's not the newest character, and it's been here for a while. If you see my channel art, obviously you can see it there. Now, it's closer to being finished than a lot of other characters, but obviously there's room for improvement sometimes whenever you think of your characters and you want to like draw a little bit more. So, the thing was, I was trying to draw a coconut. So I don't know if you caught one of the videos. I think I've made two videos on this, like trying to create creatures for a forest thing, which is like creating one creating 15 creatures for like a forest, which is, forests have trees, right? It's a tree. And the forest is a fictional thing, and so are the creatures, but like I'm trying to create 15. It was a way to like make myself draw 15 things hopefully quicker, and then just have ideas, and then whatever I liked I could like continue, and other ones that I didn't I could just put to the side. And so far I've made two. I was having trouble making the coconut, and it wasn't coming out great. It was just basic. I don't know, like I couldn't like think of like what to do, and it's not necessarily just a coconut, but like it was like a coconut inspired something, and I was having trouble. I'm like, I can't, like I spent like I think 45 minutes or maybe more, and it was a hard time. I'm like, what do I do about this thing? This is actually coming out really good, guys. This is not what I'm this is not what I'm talking about, okay? Like I was having trouble. This wasn't like yeah. And it was it was supposed to be a form, something that comes before an even bigger, really cool character, but the coconut was the idea. I was having trouble. It didn't work, or it wasn't working at the time. So what I ended up doing was, instead of spending hours on the coconut dude, which would have made me sad if I ended up not what can you say, not coming up with something great for a video. Like, and that's the thing. It's like the pressure of making a video. I need to get away from that. I need to be me and not put so much pressure on something that like obviously wasn't working. And I did that. I actually am proud of myself, I guess you can say, because instead of forcing myself to try to creatively put something out and not creatively be successful, because obviously I wouldn't appreciated what I made. Instead of doing that, I said no. I will not do that. I refuse. I I will stop making the coconut, and I'm gonna work on something, because I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna try to figure out and do something else, right? And I ended up having two ideas that I wanted to work on. I'm like, you know what? I would actually like to work on two different things instead of this coconut, because the coconut's not fun right now. I want to improve Ponafina, and I wanted to draw another character, which, by the way, you haven't seen yet, but maybe in the future, hopefully you'll see it. It's not even a character. It's just like an idea for a bunch of characters. But more on that later on another video. It was that idea, like drawing other characters or drawing Ponafina and seeing if I can improve it. And obviously this is not like, hey, let me make the most amazing video ever, and hey guys, I hope that you watch it, right? It's more or less like, hey, let me take time to myself and just do something that I actually wanted to do. And this is what I ended up wanting to do, right? Long story being short there, I guess, is that I ended up drawing these sketches, and you might have seen it on like an earlier vlog, and that, yeah, it was there too. I ended up drawing a few sketches on Ponafina, trying to see if I can like improve the design. Originally, I ended up like drawing them in like a sketchy way, I guess. Like, look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? Like, this is like there's a lot of sketch lines. This is me not coming up with something perfectly concrete. It's more like exploring and seeing a fast drawing, or doing a fast drawing, so I can kind of just get ideas down and try to see if I can improve it. And then guess what? Fast forward to, I guess, 2 days later, 2 days later, right? Because I did this on like a Saturday. 2 days later, I ended up re I guess outlining them. And look, I outlined these guys, and look how cute! Look how cute! It's adorable. I made them more cleaner, right? I made them cleaner, and it was cool. Now, this is where we're at now. We were actually technically we were at there yesterday, okay? We were here yesterday, but the problem was the video clipped. Like, imagine like through the like once I was actually like having a great conversation, and I was really explaining things. Imagine that the video is just like, and then like even though I'm explaining things, like all of this drawing that I do eventually is like from nothing to that, and it's like, and I'll be explaining something, maybe something else, and then I'm still like on a specific. It was just so it's like it wasn't fun, guys. Like I could have fixed the earlier thing where like I had like the audio mess up. I could have fixed that, but man, it wasn't cool to realize that like the video was like, you know, messed up. And what was I gonna do? I took it. I tried to be positive about it though. I was like, you know what, my like pretty much the idea is my job is to figure out why that happens, and let me try to fix it so I can be better about it, like make a better video, and have like a little more of a reliable situation. I don't know why you're like that, dude. Why are you like this? Well, let me see if I can. Is that gonna work? I don't know. I don't know. Like this, I don't ever think this is. I don't remember this happening. Like, why are you facing that way? All right. So, yeah. My job was to figure out why that happened, so that I can like improve future videos, and try to have that mistake not happen again, right? So, we're here. This is where we were 2 days later. Which is like Tuesday, I think. No, Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe it was longer than 2 days. It's probably 3. But honestly, okay. Oh, well, I was gonna say, long story short. Well, it's not even gonna be short because we're still talking. I outlined it. I tried to make it look good because what was important to me was I really wanted to figure out the hair. I've had this hair problem for a while, right? Let me see if I can fix that actually, because I don't like that. I want this to be normal. You're not. What is this? Oh, I think I fixed it. Do you see that, guys? It went to normal when I did the thing. No. You see how like the head is over here, and it's like small, it's tiny. This hair just like whooshes, right? It just goes like over, and it poofs up like that. And I like, this is like, this was new to me. Is like, you know what? I kind of like how it does that. I like how it like just goes over up like by a big amount, and it's just like doing that. And whatever goes back here has to go smaller. That's what I was figuring out. So I did that over here too, right? And then I like made it smaller. Now, before I got to this one, over here, while I left it like this, you know, like sketch lines and all, with the sketch lines, I was wondering about this over here, because while I was pretty happy with the guy over here, even though like this hair flow is really cool, I don't know exactly what this is supposed to look like in all angles, right? And I know it's a little like it might be a bit much trying to figure out like 100% what this character is supposed to look like, but I think that was part of the fun, is trying to figure out fun, and part of like the challenge, or what I was going for, the goal basically was like, I want this character to look good, and I want to figure out what it looks like most of the time, if not all the time. And the issue with that, with only having this at the time, because I didn't draw this out yet, I was drawing, like I didn't outline it, I only outlined this one at the time, and I was like, you know what, I need to see what this character looks like at a different angle. So I took one of the ones that I already sketched out, and I started outlining it, and then I ended up with this, right? And I started trying to draw the hair in a different angle, because the thing with the hair is like, here's like, imagine if this is the face, right? Like, I don't, over here, like, see how we have the poof going on over here? Like, this is like, imagine this is like the poof, and then here's like the nose, and then like here's the character, right? Right, the nose, whatever. This over here, I don't know if this is like where does this like, where do these two meet over here? Is it always gonna do this? Is it just gonna be like flat? Like, Is it on this side too? Like I didn't know. Like, is it gonna do this all the time? Is it gonna just be like this? Is it gonna be like like how does this look, right? And or does it go like this? Like the thing is like that's where it's like that's where it's tricky, right? It's like I don't know what it was supposed to do by just having this one over here. So I was like, that's why I did this one over here. And what else was I gonna say? What else was I gonna say? Yeah. So that was the thing. But then at some point I realized like this hair flowing, like the way it's like, you know how it's like flowing like water? This is great. Like the reason, like originally one of the original drawings, I guess, and like the one that's probably like on. Okay, so previous drawings, I guess I aimed for something that was like always like I know that it flowed like water, but like part of me wanted it to be a certain shape all the time, right? I was like, okay, if it's gonna be like this, it's gonna be like this, right? And it's gonna have like this, and it's always gonna look like that. Like it's always gonna look like it's always gonna have this, and it's always gonna do this, and it's always gonna like not this specifically, but like that was the thing is like I had the idea that at the time that like this hair is gonna do something like this, and then it's gonna have this that meets this. Like it just having solid lines, I guess, right? And having but it wasn't free flowing as much. It was just something that like moved around like that, and it to me that doesn't really like I don't like that. I don't like that it like just it's a solid line and it doesn't move much. This is hair. This is like hair, right? So I'm trying like the way I see this is that I think that this hair should be able to freely move, you know, but like have like a lot of movement. So because it's like and one of the things about Ponafina is that its hair is supposed to move like water, right? It's just moving it like water in the air, even though it doesn't. It's not actually in water, right? Aside from this, right? Like it's just moving like water. So I came up with the idea, like over here. Look at this. I decided that this poof is important. Like this poof is going to be like more or less always there. And this in the back is going to be free flowing as much as it does and just going to be able to move as much as it wants. So this, I was happy when I made this because it's like, imagine like you just like approached it and like the main character or whatever like shows up and then like the Ponafina's like right in front of it or like you're right in front of it, right? And then like it's just like one of those things where like it looks like Ponafina's just carefully watching. Like it's like it doesn't know if it trusts you yet, or if it's just like if you're, it's like it's in front of you, but it's just like like I don't know yet is the idea, right? So does it run away? Does it like stay? Like what does it do? So, but it's majestic, right? Nonetheless, and that's why I was really happy when I made this character because like the idea was like his hair, like the hair for Ponafina is supposed to be flowing, right? And that's why it was cool, is because, yes, this poof is more or less going to stay the way it is, and this hair down here and all that is just going to move. So it's not always going to be determined. Like, it's not always just going to be a flat shape, basically, like, that does this all the time, and it does this, and then like this, and then like, see what I'm saying? Like, it's not always going to do this. It's just going to freely move. It's going to freely move, with this being more or less like usually there, and this is just going to like meet up to the side instead of it being just like boop boop. It's going to flow towards the side, and it's going to end somewhere over there, and this is going to have volume, and even this is going to like be there a little bit because it's just like this is part of the hair moving. But this was important, so like I was like, yes, this is cool, right? I was pretty much figuring out the hair, and I figured out that it's more or less this, right? And just a free-flowing amount of like the hair is just gonna flow like water behind it. And if this was like I guess the art for like if it's like for like in the story, you know, like a game or something like that, this would be like, this is where the art would be different sometimes. Like this hair is just going to move differently in different pieces of art, but more or less it's going to have a certain length to it. Maybe I might exaggerate it just because I like, you know, beauty. Like it would look cool if it looks longer sometimes, but more or less it has a length, and it just has like that poof on top. That's really important. Like as long as it has like this shape on top, because this is like the hair being like on top of it, then it's good. And that's pretty much it. So like the future drawings that I draw for this character, because I'm going to work on like the other ones, I guess, for a different reason. The hair is going to have a similar idea, but it's not always going to be 100% the same. This was just to make it look majestic, and it fits for this picture, you know? So that was great. And this bubble thing with like the situation, like I'm okay with like whatever happens with this bubble, because like if you look over here, maybe I can remove this, right? I can. Okay. So imagine the bubble being there, right? And if the hair is going through here, let's just do purple here. If the hair is going through here, there's going to be a point where like this bubble stops being visible because the hair is too much there now. Like this is the back of the neck, I guess. Like it honestly, like if the hair was here, and if this is where the hair is, like some of this just wouldn't be visible anymore, right? It probably stops being visible there, but like this water can go through here maybe a little bit, and then it just stops being visible at some point. So kind of like the neck and like the head, like this is just a given. Like it's just gonna happen from time to time. Like, and then like if you're from the top to bottom and you're seeing Ponafina from the top, like all of this hair is basically going to cover all of this bubble, because you're looking from the back maybe, and you're just seeing like a bunch of like hair there. So it makes sense. I'm not really, that's not much of an issue for me anymore. I think that that's fine. And if it like, and if it ends up being a toy, the bubble can always like I can make the bubble, and the hair is just going to go over that bubble, but it's just going to be under, like it'll be under, but it'll still be there. So like this can technically still be there, unless like the hair doesn't move at all, and it was just like, okay, let me just put it there, kind of thing. Or yeah, I guess it depends on the toy. But so yeah, that's the bubble situation. I think that the bubble situation is good. Ooh, so important. This bubble situation, I was struggling, because I was like, how do I, you know what else I figured out about the hair? Like I don't know if you noticed this, right? Let me take that away again. I did this now, right? So it used to be not this, but like imagine if this wasn't here. It used to be that the head was always visible, like this forehead would always be visible, and the hair would just meet at some point around the ears here, and then like, but this head was always visible. So this water flippy, as I like to call it, would just start somewhere around there, and that would be the thing. It would just start here, and this is also water, by the way, in case you didn't know. Like these, I removed that, but both of these are water, and that's where I was having it start. Is basically like right where like that forehead, I guess, and like the hair meets, basically, right? Now, where am I at? It's tricky once I start putting this over the forehead, because if like I have the hair go further all the way up until like I guess it meets the ear, but like if it ends up being forward, which I thought was cute, I thought this was adorable, right? I thought it ended up being better. This becomes tricky, because now I can't have this meet like right here. Like that doesn't look right. I can't just have it so close to the eye over here. And it really became obvious over here, because once I like had this, I was like, all right, how do I put this water flippy and make no mistake, I did want to keep this water flippy, I just didn't know how to do it. So then I tried, you know what, let me put it like right here, the water flip, Like, let me have it start here. But then I'm like, no, that doesn't work. Like, having a hairline over here, but then having this water flip start, like, above it, it's like, that doesn't work. And it's so close to the eye. So that ended up not being a thing. But I found sort of a solution. And it's kind of similar to the water bubble situation, which we had over here, right? Or no, well, we had over here. You remember how I was saying that, like, the water bubble, thick line, whatever, thick line, and then the purple, which would be here, eventually, like, the hair meets and, like, the water bubble meets, right? They meet each other eventually, and then they both fade into each other kind of thing? Well, that's actually why this isn't really finished. Okay? So, like, if you notice, I didn't do this here and keep it this way. Like, I didn't do this, right? Like, I don't have it finished and saying it starts over here, or it starts over, like, or I don't have it finished and, like, having it start there. I left it open because that's actually the solution. The hair is going to have this hairline over here, and this water bubble is going to meet the hair at some point. It starts here, basically. This is the most important part, I guess, right here for this idea of the drawing, is that it's going to start right where this hairline meets. Right here. Right? Right in this, like, spot right here. But this is going to come back and meet, sort of, more or less, it's going to meet the hair at some point. And if this is the hair coloring, whatever, right? The water bubble and this are going to fade over here. Like, it's going to go whoosh. Like, it's just going to, the water is just going to be here, and they're going to meet each other. And that's basically what's going to happen, is like this water flippy is just going to start over here, but it's going to end up there. And that's why this will end up working, is because it's the same idea. It starts somewhere over here. Like, you're not going to be able to see this because the hair is covering it, right? But somewhere towards the back of it there, it's going to start, and it's just going to meet somewhere there, and it's just going to look cute. And it fits. Because if I'm not finishing the line, right? See how, like, I let this be open? It's a great, like, I guess, design choice, because, like, if I ever draw, like, comics of this, like, this is just, like, part of the design. Like, it just, I never finish this. I'm just gonna let it meet at some point, and it's just gonna, like, have this open space there. And it's cool. It might just be such a basic thing to you guys, but I was actually pretty happy once I figured that out, because now it sort of makes sense. When something makes sense to me, and it's not, like, and it's not in a way that, like, I wasn't, like, happy about, then I guess it makes me happy. I'm pretty happy with, like, design choices that, like, actually make sense and look great the way I think that they look great, I guess, right? So that's the water flippy situation. And I think that that kind of, like, that was pretty much a lot of what I was trying to say in the previous vlog video before I kind of messed up. I think that I finally, after that, might have went to the tail. Now, the tail, I'm still uncertain about. Actually, during the video, I was explaining it. As you can see, I already have these drawn because I was trying to explain it. I drew this while I was actually on video, right? Like, or not on video, but, like, when I was, like, making the video, I drew this and I was like, oh, this is great. This is actually what I want it to look like. So originally I was like, I don't know if I want to keep this tail anymore because it's not always consistent. Like, this tail is not always consistent. Like, if you look at this over here, actually, yeah. If you look at this tail, it starts like this, and then it has, like, this curl, which I was pretty happy about once I first started with that, but I'm like, how do I always make this look like this in every single angle? And I don't even know if this is what I like. I just like that the curve situation, but then I don't know, like, do I just do this? Like, am I gonna do this? Like, how do I make that happen? And I struggled here a little bit, right? But then eventually, during the video, I drew, because what did I have here? I had this, right? I drew this, and I'm like, wait a minute, that actually looks good. And then once I started drawing these ones, see this? I started drawing this one and during the video, and I'm like, this actually works. Drawing one as a reference, and then trying to draw it in a different angle actually works. Because what I would do a lot of the times is I would what do you call it? I would kind of improvise. I would try to, let me bring up a picture. Oh, it's not gonna let me because, okay. See how like this is more or less like the same size as this? If you can see like in other pictures, this is like tall over here, and then this is really huge. This is like okay, and then this is like big in the back. You see that? Like that tail over there? It's like I didn't have a consistent size, and I was kind of just going off of memory, like, all right, what should I make it look like? Should I make, and I didn't even, sometimes I made it big, sometimes I made it smaller. I have to figure out this tail. And even here, it's like, I drew it this way over here with like the curves, but like, this might be different than this one over here, like the one that's they might be different from each other. So I kind of want to figure out what's going on with this tail, and see if I can more or less kind of define it, right? Like see if I can figure it out more, and then just like make a design decision for this character. Now, one of the things I thought about was like, okay, so the hair flows a lot. It's gonna flow like water. Why doesn't the tail flow? I like, not that like I want the tail to stay this way, and I want the hair to stay this way. I don't want the hair to flow. I want the hair to flow is what I mean, but I don't want the tail to flow too, because then it just becomes this like, it becomes a too much of a design thing, like hair flowing and the tail flowing, like it's all gonna flow. Like to me it's too much, right? So I want like the tail to just be cute and then the hair to flow. I don't know why it happens. I don't, story wise, like for the character, I don't know why it happens, but design choice wise, I do know, like I just because I want it that way, right? But I don't know what the story is with that. So the next I guess my next little project for whenever I'm taking a break, kind of like how I was having trouble drawing the coconut, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to do something that I actually want to do, I guess, right? Whenever I take a break, or whenever I decide I want to like continue drawing this character and seeing if I can improve it, I'm going to work on a tail. And that's probably going to be like these other drawings that I did. But here, like, and then the reason why I drew on this one, this was part of the video too, is like, oh look, I can kind of like I can practice over here, because literally like it's facing away, so I can outline things that are like great, which would be what do you call it? Do I have enough layers here? I don't, but I can draw on this guy. I'll just do this one. I can outline really good what I think should stay, right? And then just work on what actually I want to work on, which would be the tail. And I guess that's my next small little project for that, is to try to figure out the tail, and I can, I guess, update you guys on another vlog video on how that goes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, just trying to improve the character, which is a majority of what I was trying to do, actually. And I think that the hair is pretty cool. This one, if I had to, I guess, do it pretty quickly, like, we know what the hair idea is. Like, it's just a big poof, and then it just flows like how it wants to. You know? It's cool. I like it. And then, see how this is getting covered? Yeah. Like, you get the idea, basically. It's a long video, and I longer than I thought it would be. Longer than the one I made before, but it's kind of fun talking to you guys and being able to explain these sort of things. Like, I know it's like, it might seem like a small thing, but I guess it kind of matters to me. It kind of is enjoyable to me to figure things out with the characters and kind of just tell you how it goes. Even if it's not successful, if I don't end up drawing something that I appreciate too much, or if I end up drawing something and it's not the greatest thing, I think that this is one of the best ways for me to explain it to you guys, is just tell you the story, if I can, on what I was doing, what ended up happening, what was the result of it, and I don't know, maybe give you a little ideas on how the day is going. I guess it's a vlog for a reason, right? But so yeah, my next little projects, I guess, or what I'm going to be trying to do with this character, if and when I come back to this sort of like thing, is seeing if I can figure out the tail. The tail is more or less, I guess, like I like how the curve is, I like how it does that. I just need to make sure I understand what I'm doing when I'm drawing this character's tail. Instead of making it so huge in some moments and then like it gets drawn differently. Alright, this video is long enough. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Thank you guys for being here. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Take care. And I'll talk to you later on another video. Bye, guys.